And I find it troubling to spend $1.5 million to improve a facility, and I know you've been talking about parking, and there are problems with parking. I'd say one of the problems are, because I use that facility, I go there, the problem is you can put ADA in, and that's fine. You're going to have your handicap, but the auxiliary parking is far away. And there are people that don't have handicap stickers and can't park in the ADA spots, but the auxiliary is a far walk for people, for seniors that don't have ADA, for kids, for little kids. It's a far walk to get to that library in that auxiliary parking. So that's another concern. That's another issue that I don't think has been well vetted. If you were to take that $1.5 million, and you wouldn't have to take all of it, I agree it should be ADA accessible to the Arden Hills Library. Put some of that money into the Arden Hills Library. There is a study that the board did. They had some sort of contractor talk about what needs to be done to make it ADA compliant, to fix the roof, the HVAC. And Arden Hills has said in their resolution that we are willing to partner with the Ramsey County Board to help with some of these improvements to keep the Arden Hills facility in the current location. We're also doing that right now. We're doing mowing of the grounds, and we're doing plowing of the snow, and we're willing to do more. Then at the end of the day, instead of putting, at end of 20 years, putting $1.5 million into a facility where you have nothing, you would still have the Arden Hills Library. You'd have that beautiful ground. I know Greg Mack has talked about using that area for a trailhead in the future because he's got a lot of plans for trails there. Then you will have something at the end of 20 years. Right now, at the end of 20 years, you will have nothing, and I think that is poor stewardship of the money, and as a Ramsey County taxpayer, I would not like to see $1.5 million go down the drain. Just one final comment. I don't think the options that you need to face are just New Brighton or close the Arden Hills Library. I think that $1.5 million could be used for the Arden Hills Library to keep it open until, as Commissioner Bennett suggested, maybe some other more joint facility to serve Mounds View, New Brighton, and Arden Hills. And the other thing I would mention is the people of Arden Hills are concerned that the library may be closed at the end of the year, even before the New Brighton facility is available, if that should be the case. And we'd also like to see that the Arden Hills Library stay open if the New Brighton facility is selected, that at least it stayed open until New Brighton is available, or at the time where you have to move the books, et cetera, like you did for Roseville. So I thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Mayor Dave Jacobson. Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome. For the welcome, and I appreciate the chance to talk. I think we're looking at an issue here of timeliness, and I would like to stress just the merits. I don't like to see this turned into a turf war, or we're looking at the benefit for the community. We've looked at many aspects as this report on location, demographics. The parking is a small part of that. We did spend much time on that, and the land would not be charged, or it would be given to this purpose for additional parking, no additional cost. The cost for putting it in, and as far as ADA compliance, yes, it is ADA compliant. We don't build anything. That's the law. It's not an issue. We will be within ADA compliance. So I don't understand the contention about that. There is none. And so let's look at it as not a win-loss or a competition here. What we're looking at is what's best. What are the merits of this particular location? And this location is something that the library board has a vision like the North St. Paul Library, and our consul went over there and toured that facility, and we were very impressed, and we were excited about that kind of vision being moved into the New Brighton Family Service Center. It can become a very valuable asset to the community at large. If you go to the North St. Paul Library, you see where they have incorporated the school district, an exercise area, and so during summer reading programs or story times, the younger children can go up and use exercise equipment like recess, run off some energy, but they're generating power for electronic games. So now they can still play their electronic games, but they're getting exercise. To make it go, they have to exercise. And why is this important? Last winter when I was in Washington, we heard from the federal people that childhood obesity is a threat to this nation's security. Presently, they say there's only 25% of our population that is fit for military service. In 10 to 15 years, they're not sure where we'll be if we don't do something about childhood obesity. This program in the North St. Paul Library is addressing that and addressing it now. There are other programs. They expanded. The school district had a commercial kitchen put in so they could teach food preparation, nutrition. They had the high school students open a coffee shop where they could learn how to run a business. This is a vision that I think is available to us now. The timeliness is important, and to defer this because of things that we don't know about the future well, I'll stick with the merits. The merit is that this facility is there now. It's economical. The cost savings is right in front of you of $150,000. This is here now. It's available now. And the community needs this valuable asset. Waiting years, as we have, we've dealt with this problem since, documented since 2003. I think, in all honesty, folks, it's time to make a decision. Thank you.
I do have Commissioner Rettman. Again, the item before us today is acceptance of the recommendation of the Ramsey County Library Board to relocate area library services to the New Brighton Family Service Center and all of the steps that go into that. The information that Commissioner Rettman has requested will, of course, come back to all of us. And ultimately, once a project plan, schedule, budget, and financing plan are put together between the county manager and the Ramsey County Library, that too will come back to us before this proceeds. Commissioner Rettman and then Commissioner Bennett.
Madam Chair, first of all, we love that everybody loves libraries.
Yes.
Okay, period. And I think one of the things that, Madam Chair, you tried to say at the very beginning is that the stewardship of the libraries throughout the county falls in two areas, both the library board as well as this board. And Julie, I'm going to call on you, or at least for you to nod or not nod, is that in 2008-9, you gave direction to the library director / libraries of a certain goal that they were to meet in terms of adjusting to the economic realities of what we had. And the reality is that just on this operating cost of this branch, the threshold that was set for 09, 010, 11 was reducing it by $150,000 just at this branch, without even using an amortization schedule or anything like this. If you just add that up over 20 years, it's $3 million. $3 million. So for the same value added of 1.5 million, actually it's 1.4 something or another, that's a pretty darn good deal for 20 years. Now, hopefully, there will be wise people still in New Brighton that will hopefully extend that 20 years. You know, I'll try and make sure that I'm still around to remind you of it. No, but no, I'm teasing a little bit, but I'm serious, is that even if you just look at it on just a pure, what are we getting for it? And over the 20 years, is you're actually increasing that value. You know, plus you're meeting the goal of meeting that standard. Am I in the ballpark? Yes. Was that a yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. So I just wanted to make sure that this is, you know, when you look at numbers, these numbers add up very positive. You know, it's just making sure the RFP comes in on time, on budget, and it's done by union labor. Excuse me.
Commissioner Bennett and then Commissioner Carter, but I'd like to...
Madam Chair, I'm not sure that 20-year vision that the mayor or I will ever see it, and I'm questionable if you may see it. But
I dream great dreams.
You dream great dreams. Well, I was just reading this paragraph over a couple of times, and I thought it sounded very interesting, and I'd like to read it for everybody.
What are you reading from?
I'm on attachment page 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5. It says Ramsey County's vision. The Ramsey County Library in Arden Hills is a vibrant and popular community destination, principally serving the residents of New Brighton and Arden Hills. In 2009, the library circulated 311,687 items and received 111,941 visits. 2010 statistics are on track to surpass these figures. Over the past 10 years, overall circulation has increased 77%, and visits have increased 59%. This library has 23,030 active cardholders and has the 43rd highest circulation of 106 libraries in the metro area. That's where it is today. In the building it's in today, with 8,000 square feet, that's now going to go down to 6,000 square feet. The mayor stated it. I don't think this is a turf war or a battle war. I said in my comments in the beginning, it's 1.1 miles difference. They're across a border of about, you go 2 blocks and you're in New Brighton, 2 blocks you're in Arden Hills, and they're both about a block off the property line down. I don't think that's a consideration, but I do think a vision into the next few years as to the changes in the libraries and what they're going to be used for. I do think that with the amount of developable property that's on the marketplace and going to be on the marketplace in the next year or less needs to be taken into consideration. I think that when you start spending this kind of money, I guess I have a question of Julie after listening to Commissioner Rettman's comments, and maybe the director of the libraries. Am I reading this wrong? Are you anticipating that we'll be able to keep this $150,000 cut savings every year for 20 years? Is that what you're telling us? Because that's what she stated, and you agreed with her.
I just, that's,
Susan,
it
if
would
you'd
be a
like to...
systemic change.
I interpret the reading of this the way it's written in here, that it was a one-time $150,000 cut. If it stays